I'm doing right now is taking the shell off of chestnuts that have been in the refrigerator, and I'm going to first cut them in half, then dunk them, a handful of them, in some boiling water for a minute, and then take it out with a spider. Mind your fingers. And make sure to look inside when you cut them in half to make sure you're not getting any rotten nuts. So what this does is it makes it easier for the shell and that thin paper that's lining underneath the shell, called the pellicle, to come off. What I'm going to do now is put a handful of these chestnuts in boiling water and simmer them for a minute to get the shells off. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. And set the timer for 1 minute. Okay, it's been about a minute, and I'm just going to give them a few seconds longer, like 20 seconds. Sometimes they float up to the top. These aren't doing that right now. Take a look at them. And you might have to test them out, like try for a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and then you'll get a feel as you do them in batches about how long it takes for the shell to come off. Let's go ahead and try these. You can't grab these right away unless you have just asbestos hands. And I'll give these a little bit to cool off before I try to handle them and take the shell off. But you don't want to wait too long because the shell and the paper the pellicle kind of re-seal on if you wait too long. This looks good. This batch took about 2 minutes, so you might want to adjust a minute, 2 minutes. It just all depends on the variety, I'm sure, the size of the chestnut, how long it takes. Now this is what I love, is when all by itself a half came out of the shell. It doesn't always happen like that, so you have to use your fingers to peel them off. But what I was going to show you was, now that they're cool enough to handle, there's the outer shell, and then there's this thin papery layer that sticks to the nut when it's raw, and that's very bitter and astringent, and we don't want to eat that. It's very high in tannins. That's a beautiful yellow colored chestnut. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this demonstration on how to peel chestnuts, and I hope you go out and get some chestnuts yourself and have a good experience. If you're really crazy about chestnuts, order this book, The Chestnut Cookbook by Annie Bhagwandan, and it's got different styles of cuisine: French, Italian, Asian, and it's all about chestnuts, savory and sweet. Bye!